So people that are watching this will be able to see. If you're listening, you might not be able to. People watching will notice that I'm in a kitchen and you're in a bedroom or an office. It looks like you've got some cupboards.
Yeah, it's a slash between bedroom and office in the corner of my house out here. You know, yeah, a office. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So the kids are off. So that's been led with me. And I ain't gonna lie, you know, it's been struggling for me to get into the studio because of my body and that. So I was like, nah, man, I'm not doing it today.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to this week's Super Six podcast. My name's Laura Woods, and as ever, alongside me, Bayo Akinfenwa. Hello, Bayo.
Yo, what's going on, LW? I'm back. Did you miss me?
I missed you a lot. It was not the same last week, honestly.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like, even though they're legends, they're Arsenal. So you don't want to chat enough about Arsenal. Too much. I'm back now.
Too much. It was a little bit. I was like, on a normal occasion, I was genuinely starstruck. So I was sitting there, Nigel Winterburn, Ray Parlour. I know Ray, I've met him before, but Nigel Winterburn, for some reason, it makes me starstruck. So I was just sort of sat there and fangirling for a little bit. And then this like harsh reality, like a lead balloon just dropped, and it was Arsenal's current form. And I was like, oh, how it almost felt disrespectful to have these two legends, these two players that have won like so much in the game, when Arsenal was like a shirt to wear with pride, and to then ask them about how it feels about being 15th in the table. It was the weirdest paradox.
See, I ain't gonna lie, that's the one thing I would have liked. I would have liked just to dig at them, be like, hey, yo, legends, you know, you lot was there with your chest up and your head up saying, yeah, Arsenal and this. How does it feel now? I would have liked to do that, but I wasn't there. So blip, blap, blam. Let that be. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, LW, how you been, man? What's been new? Like, you been the darts? Talk to me about the darts.
Yes. I've been on the darts pretty constantly over Christmas, and I have to be honest, it has felt very, very different. There's no fans, obviously. We had them for like one night only, and they were all sat at these tables. You know what it's like at the darts, like it's mayhem. So for one night only, the night before we all went into lockdown in London, they were sat like tables of 3 and 4 in rows as if they were sitting GCSE tests. I was in the studio, and the studio's raised, so I was looking over the crowd and I was looking at each of them, and it was like at any minute the teacher was going to come along and say like, pens up, like time starts now, and then they were all just going to start doing like their papers. It was really weird. Then the next day the crowd went, and we've had some wicked games, which obviously is what it's all about, but it's, you know what they say with football, like football's nothing without the fans. The world, the darts at Christmas at Ali Pali, it feels even more so like that. It feels like we've sucked the life out of it. Apart from that, it's been wicked.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you got there. It was good in the end. But listen, I think that what's happening now even more is just showing that, you know what, the fans, people, they're the soul. They're the soul of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get the game twisted. And we keep saying, look, we play in this game, football, the athletes, but you really are missing the soul of sporting events without the fans.
You know what we think we should do when lockdown's over and the vaccine comes in and all that sort of stuff? I think we should have a party. Just some sort of like, I don't know, just some sort of social gathering where we don't have to worry about being distant from each other, and like, because me and you used to see each other around the circuit all the time. Do you remember?
All the time.
And without fail, you and me would always turn up.
All the time. You know, funny enough is, you know, on Snap, like it comes up with memories, innit? Like on your phone. And a memory come up of, it was you, I can't even remember what it was, but I was wearing a red jacket, and it must have been an event, and we turned up, and we turned up. Like there was a video of us listening to music, turning up. And you know when they say nostalgia is a beautiful thing, and that wasn't even that long ago, maybe 2 years max. Yeah. And like, you listen, when lockdown is over, things go back to normal, we are throwing a gigantic, I'm telling you, where we are just going all out. I'm telling you, it's missed.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, right. Genuinely, that's like giving me goosebumps. Oh, I love it. Right, okay. Apart from that, everything's been great. Christmas is coming. Last time I spoke to you, you hadn't done your Christmas shopping. So
yeah. No, you know what? I'm a little bit better. Like, listen, we've just gone into tier 4.
Yeah.
You know me about this. I keep saying make it make sense. I didn't even know there was a tier 4 until after the game on Saturday. I swear to you, I thought they were bantering me. They was like, yo, we're going into tier 4. I was like, what is tier 4? What, like, where'd that come from? So then it was like, look, lock off, lock down, everything. Like, so it's like, oh, raw. And I'm lastminute.com anyway. That's just what I am. But a few people in the industry has hooked me up. I'm not going to lie. So I got me a little couple care packages, I think on the weekend. So I'm half done. And in worst case scenario, I'm just going to give money. You know, like, that's got to be the worst case scenario right now. I just got to give them money or an IOU or something like that. You know that you got to give an IOU, and the pandemic is a reason to give an IOU on them ones. Like, listen, just a big IOU paper when they open it up. And
I've got this image of one of your daughters, the sassy one, right? The one that, you can't buy her love at the moment. I've got an image of her opening up her present and being like, right, Daddy's got me something really special, and it's an IOU, and she's just so unimpressed.
She deserves it. Let me tell you, look, let me tell you how sassy and I'm buying this girl's affection. We have now done a bet. We've done a bet. So there's an anime. So there's an anime series that we've bet who will finish the anime series first, right? Okay, let me tell you what. It's called My Hero. I think My Hero Academia or something like that. Anyway, let me tell you what the bet is, right? I've said if I win for 3 weeks, I get hugs and kisses with no complaints and £20 from her, just for the sake of it. Her one is that she doesn't have to give me hugs and kisses for 3 weeks, and I can't give her no affection, and I have to give her £20. That's how much I have to bargain to get affection off my daughter. Look what I'm dealing with, people. LW, you see it? I failed as a dad, you know. I failed as a dad.
One of these days, right, and I promise it will happen, one of these days, you two will be like inseparable. Like, you'll click. She's going through a difficult girls do this, Bayo. We turn into monsters. We're monsters for like a couple of years, and then we come back. Like, we're like boomerangs.
When you coming back from this monster thing yet? Because you still on this monster thing with me.
I've been out for a while, yeah. Do you know what? I took some milk about 10 years ago, and I didn't come back.
Come on now, you come back.
All the way around the world. It's on a long
so yours is a frisbee and not a boomerang, yeah? Yours is just you just kept going.
Someone's got a cat to turn me around, and then I'll be back at the same time as your daughter.
Cool. Say that, and I'm hoping onto that.
Talking about people being back, we did a really, really good interview this week for this podcast with Max Aarons. If you're a Norwich fan, then you will love it. Even if you're just a football fan, I think you'll be really interested to hear what he has to say. Because this guy, he's an absolute baller, as we know. He speaks really well, really honestly. We're going to get into it. You might notice someone is missing at the beginning of the interview. I'm not going to tell you. You'll probably know.
Yeah. And LW, we're partners in crime, and I felt like you just threw me under the bus right there, you know.
That's how I felt at the start of the interview. So
LW didn't know what I was dealing with in the morning. LW, I didn't even come in. I didn't want to mess up the whole interview and go deep into it, so I just came as a professional and came straight in. But anyway, you are right, Max. I played against him earlier in the season. Like, he's real humble. It's a real good interview, to be fair.
I've got to remind everyone, this week's Super 6 round, it's a festive special that says the £1 million jackpot is back. It's back. £1 million jackpot. It's amazing. £1 million. We are going to discuss that a little bit later in the show. And also a reminder, the hashtag, if you want to play along, Super 6 Podcast, if you just want to say anything you like. And also you can follow us on Twitter @Super6. Shall we get into this interview, Bayo?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's dive into it.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Please welcome along Mr. Max Aarons. Max, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Feeling good. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much. No one ever asked. That's very nice of you to ask. Thank you. I should really say Merry Christmas, even though it kind of doesn't really feel like it. Technically, it is Christmas now. So Merry Christmas. What's the life of a footballer at Christmas like?
It's busy, really busy. Not many days off and stuff, but No, it's good. Loads of games and things like that. So no, it's good.
Would you rather be playing them? Because you know how people like to speak for footballers and say, listen, their bodies it's tough and like they need more rest and this and that. But do you prefer playing more games or do you actually enjoy the rest and need the rest?
No, I prefer playing more games, to be honest. That's kind of what we do it for, and like loads of games and like a big fixture schedule is kind of what you do it for. So I just love playing all the games, but it can be tiring. Sometimes your body's crying out for a bit of a rest. But yeah,
we are missing somebody that likes to complain about his body on, I would say, every day, whether he's played or not. Every day that we see him on Super 6, Bayo Akinfenwa complains about how his body's feeling. And to be fair to him, I get it, because he's been hammering home that the Championship is a different level to what he's used to, and it's hard. But yeah, he walks in. He's late, quite classically for Bayo Akinfenwa. He's actually late to this podcast. He's going to join us at some point when he's good and ready, apparently. So my apologies to you for that, Max, because it's
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Tardy, really, isn't it? Unacceptable. But let's talk about the change of the Championship, because you play in the Premier League, you get used to those standards. How different is it, the drop to the Championship and the demands that Championship places on you? What are the biggest differences?
The amount of kind of games that you have to play straight away is a huge change. You don't really get a rest and stuff like that, so it's really, really hard. And then obviously, in the Prem we were kind of struggling and stuff, and then you come back down to the Championship and you're expected to win and kind of go back up straight away and stuff. So it was kind of like you had to adapt, but it was okay. But no, there's positives and negatives to both, and I really enjoy kind of having played in both.
Was it hard? So I remember watching you a few times actually in the Premier League, and I really enjoyed Norwich. Like, I really enjoyed the way that you played football. I really love your manager. I think his voice is probably the best voice out of all the managers I've ever worked with. How difficult was it, though, being embroiled in a relegation battle for as long as you were?
Yeah, it was tough. Like, because obviously the season before we'd been winning loads of games and stuff, and then we got into that, and suddenly, like, we were losing games, and it was tough, but we were still playing good football, so it was a hard one. And I think everyone really enjoyed playing, watching us and how we played and everything. But it was just disappointing that we couldn't get more wins and stuff like that. But no, it was good, and it was like, for me as a young player, it was really, really good experience, and obviously, just want more of that now.
What's Daniel Farke like as a manager and a motivator?
Yeah, no, he's really good. As you said, his voice, you just kind of, as a player, you just listen to what he's saying, and he's been really good for me personally. And obviously, I made my 100th appearance the other week, so it just shows the faith that he puts in you and how good that is for you as well. You
made your 100th appearance?
Yeah, the other day. So like, when I look back on it's to play that amount of games, it shows the trust that he's put in me, which obviously I'm grateful for from him.
That's incredible. Congratulations. And I mean, normally,
thank you.
We have all these stats in front of us, but that one I probably missed. I mean, it will be somewhere in my stats pack about you, I imagine. Somewhere at the bottom.
yeah. It was quite recent, to be fair, so it might not have come up.
So Championship Live, I know you're saying that, like, there's more games thick and fast, but it must just be so bizarre. Like what you were just saying about how you get that season promoted, you go up into the Premier League. It's such a flip in fortunes and in results. Come back down, and now you're 5 points clear at the top again. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's really odd. I was saying this to one of the players the other day that you've gone from up here, down there, and up here. It's hard, but that's what football is, and obviously, like I said, with being back in the Championship comes that pressure that that you have to go straight back up and kind of be at the top of the league. So, but me, I really enjoy it, and I just love playing the game as well.
Does it? So because you've done it quite recently, you know how to get promoted, and you've been through that season. and you guys did it like in such a dominant way as well when you did do it. Does it kind of make you feel a little bit more confident that you've been there, you've done it, you know how to do it over the other teams around you?
Yeah, definitely. I think like we were used to it, and obviously 2 years ago, same thing. Well, obviously we've not done it yet, but we're in the same position that we were 2 years ago, and I think a few of the players have been through that, of course, already. So I feel like kind of we're used to it, and there's not that kind of new factor to it as well.
Do you ever see Delia around?
Yeah, I do. She sometimes comes into the training ground, and sometimes see her after a game, but that's it really. Not loads to be fair.
Is she as much of a hero as everybody thinks she is? Because I think she's amazing.
She is. I think she just has everyone knows that clip of when she came on the pitch at half time, and which was funny, but no, she is a really nice person, and I think she just genuinely has a love for the club. So it's like, there's nothing more you want than an owner that has that.
100%, a passionate owner. I remember when you guys got promoted, and she did an interview with Sky, and it was just the best thing. And I remember sitting there thinking, in football, as a football fan, you want your owners to be like that. You want them to have that. Put it into the club.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you're looking up and they're all sat there, her and the family. It's kind of that's what you want to know, that you have the backing of the club from someone that loves the club and will do anything for it. So yeah, no, she's great and definitely passionate as well.
You recently won EFL Young Player of the Month, so obviously it's going quite well for you. You just mentioned there 100 appearances now for Norwich. What is it you think that's sort of making you settle? Like, we spoke about the manager that you like. You obviously enjoy playing at the because it's good football. Do you think that it's being at Norwich that is making you excel?
Yeah, definitely. I think the way kind of we play and everything just suits me down to a T, and I kind of obviously know the club now a lot, and everything that's kind of, it's been a really good kind of journey for me, and it's been the perfect club for me, to obviously a few years ago to kind of kickstart my career, which was really good, and obviously now I feel really settled and like an experienced kind of member in the team. So yeah, it's been really good.
How weird has it been with COVID? Because with fans coming back in, like a few fans coming back in, so you scored a goal recently and celebrated by hugging them, right?
Yeah. So that
you just forgot.
So I done that. Yeah, I completely forgot. I think that was the first game that the fans had come back in the stadium, and then obviously I'd scored, and I hadn't scored in about like over a year, and then I just seen the fans, and I thought, let me just give one of them a hug. But then I kind of went on. I was on my phone kind of late that night, and there was someone had put out like an article on it, and I was like, oh no, what have I done? So then I was kind of like asking around the club, and they just said, just obviously you shouldn't have done it, but I think everyone can understand that they've been away for that long, and then suddenly they were back in. But yeah, I think the emotion got the better of me for sure.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because it's like us lot that work in the media, we sit there and we think we've got it hard because we're like, wow, there's no fans, that's this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
We're lucky to even be at the games. But you guys, like, when it all started up again, you must just, I don't know how it feels. Like, you can tell me how it feels, but almost just like half a game, you're just like, oh.
Yeah, no, literally, it was nice to actually, even though it was only 2,000 there, it was nice to, if you put in a tackle or something, you got a little cheer or something like that. That was kind of what we were missing, and playing in front of no one it was kind of, it is so hard.
Yeah.
I think any player will tell you that.
Have you played against a team yet? Have you played away where they've got fans?
Yeah, yeah, we have. Yeah, we played Reading the other week, and they had fans. Obviously, before they've gone into kind of tier 3. Yeah. It was a lot harder. It was now that like kind of home advantage, I think. So like it was a lot harder. It was a lot harder, definitely a lot harder. Because that's what they're
advantage, don't we? And we talk about how in football, like especially, so I mainly work in the Premier League, and unless it's like a cup competition or something like that. And there's a lot of managers and Sheffield United, and you guys obviously will have your time against Sheffield United season 4. So Chris Wilder was saying that he feels like more than any other team, Sheffield United have struggled the most for not having fans in the stadium to have that kind of like home advantage. Do you feel like, I mean, obviously it's going all right for you in the Championship, so it's not necessarily that the home advantage has been a massive problem, but can you understand that, how some teams who really rely on that backing have really missed it?
Yeah, even us kind of after the lockdown, we came back last season and we lost every game, you know, for the rest of the season, the final 10 games. And I definitely felt it then. That was really tough. You know, we were playing at home and we didn't even feel like we were playing a home game. So it was, I can understand what he's saying. And obviously, now it's obviously a little bit easier, you know, being in the Championship and you kind of were less reliant on it as much, but still you still want that. But yeah, definitely understand what he's saying. And obviously going to Bramall Lane, that was the main thing I think about playing them. That was the toughest part, which he's completely right about. So yeah, for some teams it's harder than others, I think.
What is the dressing room like at the moment? So whenever we do these interviews, it's something that me and Bayo like to know. So we kind of want to know like who the joker is in the dressing room and who the biggest voice is, the worst fashion sense, all that sort of stuff. Can you give us a small insight?
Yeah, no, it's good, and obviously the spirits are high at the moment. There's a few different jokers around changing room and stuff, and obviously it's a lot easier at the moment because we're obviously winning games and everything like that. There's a few Ben Gibson. There's a few different ones I can name.
But not giving any secrets away.
No, not. I don't think so. Not at the moment.
There must be people that walk into the dressing room and you're like, what are you wearing every day?
Yeah, no, definitely. Todd Cantwell, he's the worst for that, 100%. The worst. I don't know what some people, you might see his Instagram post, but some of the stuff he comes in, I'm thinking, where have you come from?
And the hairstyles as well, it's quite bold.
Yeah, I guess that's just him, but the hairstyles, the trainers, I don't get it.
I suppose the only way you can do stuff like that is if you play good football, and luckily he's a good footballer, right?
Yeah, that is true. I think everyone says like he can get away with it because of how he plays on the pitch. But it is funny. It is funny. You wouldn't mind me saying it.
Hopefully not. Emi Buendia.
No, I think you might, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll take that bit out. No, let's leave it in there. Emi Buendia has sort of been grabbing headlines a lot lately. How good is he?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. You know, for the club to have kept him, you know, coming into this season was huge for everyone. Obviously, everyone can see it now. He's an unbelievable player, and obviously he plays on my side of the pitch. So it's so nice to have someone like that on your side of the pitch and helping you out, and obviously we have that kind of connection where, you know, if you make a run, he's going to find you the pass. And obviously everyone could see it last year as well in the Premier League, how influential he was for us and what a player he is.
How much of a difference does it make to your game and developing when, like you say, you've got players on that side of the pitch that are going to pick you out? You almost get confidence from it.
Definitely. You can see it on the pitch how confident he is, and then it just breeds like to me as well. And we have that kind of connection where, like I said, I know if I make a good run, they'll find me. So it just gives you confidence that, you know, you're out there kind of battling with someone that you know is a top player, and it's great to have that. I think everyone can see the kind of chances he creates and everything like that, and now he's getting goals and assists, which is great for someone in his position.
Tell us a little bit about how you grew up and how you got into football and where you were, because you were on Luton's books, weren't you, as a youngster?
Yeah, like I signed there when I was 8 years old, and then was there till I was 14. And then at 14, I kind of had like a year out of football, and I was just training with like a one-to-one coach. And then kind of when I was 15 or 16, that was when I signed for Norwich and kind of worked up ever since then.
So you must have moved then, did you? So when you signed for Norwich, you moved up there. Did you go on your own or with family, or what happened?
Yeah, like there was like I think a lot of clubs have like digs families, it's called, where you kind of like same like a host family, and that was kind of what I done, and it was actually really good. You know, it was for kind of 1 year or 2 years, and it was really good experience. I think all the players that have done that before would kind of say the same thing. I think it was a really good experience, especially at that age. It was hard at first, but then you kind of get used to it.
They're like foster families, aren't they? So you basically almost,
Yeah.
how many days a week do you stay with them and then do you go back home?
Yeah, like usually in the middle of the week, like when you're training and stuff, that was when it was kind of middle of the week, and then you'd play the game, and then obviously I think everyone would go home at the weekends, and that's what I done. So yeah, no, it was good, and it was a good mix of like kind of being at home, and then yeah, no, it was fine.
For you as well. So like, it doesn't sound like it affected you that much, but there've been other people who struggled with that move, like being away from families and stuff. Did you find it hard at any point, or you just kind of like, I'm going to play football, it's great?
Yeah, see, I loved it because I was playing football, and obviously moving away, I didn't think about it too much, but at the start it definitely was hard, and obviously I don't think kind of my mum was too happy and stuff like that. So yeah, it was hard, but no, it was fine. As long as I was playing football, I was kind of happy. So.
Have you got brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I've got an older brother, yeah.
So you were the baby essentially, and you were moving away. So like, what?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That first day, I remember I was leaving. She was like crying and stuff, and I was like, "Oh no!" So it was hard.
I suppose she knows, obviously, that what you're going to do is going to be an incredible move. So she's got to like let you go and grow up.
No, exactly. Yeah. No. She in the end she was fine with it, but it was kind of like that. It was that dramatic that she was feeling like she was letting me go. So yeah.
What do you do? So like, obviously, lockdown has been weird because it kind of means that you've got even more time to yourself and even less time to go out and do stuff. What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do to keep yourself busy and when you're not training?
It's hard. I think in football anyway, when you're kind of not doing stuff, you kind of relaxing and chilling and stuff anyway. So it's not the biggest kind of miss, but you kind of do miss kind of just going for, I don't know, walk around the shops or go for some food or something like that, which is a big miss. But obviously, I think everyone at the moment is just kind of relaxing and, you know, have a PlayStation or some Netflix or something like that, just to kind of keep busy.
Yeah. Did you during lockdown? So I have to be honest here with you. I have a slight obsession with Daniel Farke. I think like what happens each season is I grow an obsession for one manager, and then I'll make sure that I will at some point get to interview them just so I can sort of like meet my hero, and then you know it's done. And I remember working on your last game of the season when you were in the Premier League. So it was. Do you know what? I actually can't remember who it was against. Isn't that awful?
Man City, maybe.
Was it City?
Man City.
No.
Chelsea, maybe.
Or maybe it was the last home game of the season. Oh, is he here?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
There he is.
Unbelievable. Literally just, pops up. I knew he'd do this. Bayo Akinfenwa has entered.
Bang on time.
Look at how happy he is as well. Don't worry about it. What time is
it? Hey, what's going on? What are you talking about?
20 past 9. You've only about half an hour left.
He's got a watch on. He's got a watch on.
All right,
hey, Max, allow me, bruv. What are we doing, bruv? We're players, bruv. Don't turn on me, bruv.
He was just saying, actually, that Wickham was the easiest game of the season.
He couldn't say that.
I definitely didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No, I did not say that.
Bruv, we got to play him soon. I don't know when, but they got to come to Adams Park.
That's gonna be tough.
I was just in the middle of like being honest with Max about how I have an obsession with Daniel Farke because I just think he's the best thing since sliced bread, and I would listen to his voice. I said this on radio actually, so I'll stand by this. I think if he ever isn't in management, he needs to go into reading lullabies, so like just bedtime stories and like a podcast, bedtime stories with Daniel Farke. I'd literally download it in an instant. Just me.
Yeah, that must be a woman thing. That must be. I don't know if Max agreed with you. Max, you just sit there and listen.
I don't agree. I don't agree. Definitely
just sit
not.
there while they give the team talk, all cheery-eyed, like, yeah, Gaffer. Yeah, keep talking, Gaffer. Yeah, it must be a woman thing.
No bedtime stories.
Right, I tell you what, now I've got you both here, I do want to ask, so I'm glad you're present for this, Bayo, because we were just talking a minute ago about life in the Championship, how difficult it is, and I was saying that you're coming in at the moment a broken man after every game. It's so hard. And you guys, obviously, you played against each other once already. So Max, now Bayo is in the room and present, just tell us about the impact that he has, because when he comes on the pitch, how different are the Wycombe side?
Yeah, definitely. I think before the game we were kind of preparing that he was going to play and stuff like that. And obviously the manager has spoken about him and kind of the threat that he poses for us. And then obviously when he comes on the pitch, the whole game changes. Kind of they've got someone where they're gonna kind of put crosses in the box and try and hit and go along to. And obviously it's so hard to stop, when he's kind of got you there and you know it's so strong that you can't move. So it's tough player to play against. And obviously I think the manager was aware of it, because kind of our whole pre-match meeting was kind of a lot about Bayo. So, but then I think he didn't end up starting. So, but then once he came on, it was obviously a different game.
That's amazing. Did you have a big photo of him and he was pointing with a stick? That man, like, do you know what I mean? Like on a big board, like life size. These are the areas you need to target.
Exactly, yeah. It was exactly that, and it was. I think everyone kind of was prepared, and I definitely. I don't think I was ready for the battle, but I knew what threats Bayo posed. If I didn't know before, anyway.
How's that sound?
No, listen. It makes me laugh. Like it's like anything, innit? We do our team prep, and it's going to feel like we're going to go back and forth. And like just because Max is on, I'm going to give him props, but we know the threats. To be fair, if I'm honest, and because I didn't start the game and I watched the game, I think I played 10 minutes. I came on the last 10 minutes when I think your guy scored a free kick. I think the 90th minute or something like that. One. So we had to go for broke, and I came on. So we it's like we did our prep, and we knew what Norwich is about. Listen, we watched Norwich in the Prem last season, so it wasn't like there was much prep that we had to do. Like we watched you, man, in the prep. But and I've said this, Norwich has been the best balling team that we've come across. Oh, well, I've seen in it. I wasn't there when we played Swansea and Blackburn, but when we played Norwich, it was like, I think that was the first time where I saw levels to this champ. I was like, you know what? These boys can ball. And we knew, like, we're going to touch on it, innit? Because we already knew about Max. And of course, the threats, and man was getting Bayern Munich and Barcelona. So when you hear that already, it makes you stand up and think, raw, like this guy's a baller firsthand, man, want to go and see. So we saw it. Like I see him up and down, and straight away I'm like, look, I'm not chasing you anywhere, Max. I promise you that. You can go anywhere. I am not chasing you. But best believe, if they stand it up back post, I'm gonna try and dunk
post. You've got
fam. That's so you know in it. You know your strengths and weaknesses. You know which.
True.
That's what you do as a footballer. You're comfortable. Like don't get it twisted. If the ball was played up, he would put himself there because you have to. If I would have to try and chase him, I don't think I would. I just don't think I would. It's just a losing battle.
It's true. Oh.
I'm good. I'm going to move it on a little bit, because although I'm quite like enjoying listening to Bayo like talking about you, Max, I imagine you're probably a little bit embarrassed about it.
Not at all.
You mind it? Let's talk a bit more then. Let's talk about it.
But listen, wait, hold on. When you're being linked with Bayern Munich and Barcelona, But the world's talking about you. It don't matter me talking about you. The world is talking about you when you get linked to Bayern Munich and Barcelona. I'm talking about, that's the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? It's the pinnacle.
Yeah.
How do you hear about that? So did your agent sort of call you up and say, by the way, there's been some interest, or did you see it in the media first? Or, you know, how did you hear about that interest first?
No, I think he'd mentioned it to me on like a Friday, and then we were playing Preston on the Saturday morning, and then I woke up, must have been like 8 o'clock or something like that. I woke up and I went on my phone and I had loads of messages like, what's this about? Is it true? Just from friends and family and stuff like that. And then loads of messages. And then I was like, what's going on? And obviously went on Twitter and everything, and it was everywhere. So that was a really like kind of odd morning. And I remember obviously we had the game, and a few hours after it all kind of had come out and everything like that. So it was a kind of crazy period, and I didn't, I've never had it like that before. Which was mad. And then obviously I had to go play the game, and people were saying to me, obviously it's kind of amazing that you kind of kept your head for the game, where a lot of kind of players would, couldn't have done that.
That's what I wanted to ask. That's what I wanted to ask you. So as a player, we've all got egos. Don't get the game twisted. We've all got egos. So as a player going into game prep, how was your mentality more, you know what, I'm just going to park this and then I'll tackle it after the game? Did it give you an extra boost? Did it make you be like, right, you know what, I'm a bad man? You know what I'm saying? How did you go? What was your mindset going in to play against Preston?
I think for me it was like it gave me that extra confidence. It just gave me that extra confidence. It was just breathing confidence. I think that's what it was. And it was like I was kind of walking on the pitch thinking,
I'm a bad man. You can say it, guys. Hey, Max, you can say it, man.
Basically, yeah.
Like, I'm a bad man.
No, that's how it was. And but like I just think, for me personally, that's where I can deal with things. I've always dealt with things is by playing football. It's kind of like stress relief. And if I never felt stressed or something, that's what I do. Just play and just kick ball, and that's how it was. That's what I was doing. So, and that's how I felt going into the game. I just felt, let me just focus on playing for Norwich, and that was the job that I needed to do.
I think that's quite amazing. I've never played a professional game of football in my life, but I know that if there's something on my mind before I do a show or something like that, I find it really hard to get that out of my mind. But there is a kind of flip, isn't there? Like a switch that has to go, where you just go, right, I'm in my profession now, and that's it, and that's done. Then obviously you then play the game, you come out, and you've got to deal with these rumours even more. How close were they to happening? What happened? Is it a dream of yours one day? I know you just seem so settled and happy with where you are at the moment and still developing. And like you're saying, you're in a team that's playing amazing football that really suits you. But one day, do you think that is a realistic opportunity for you? Would you like to go and play abroad somewhere?
Yeah, definitely. I think me personally, I've never kind of shied away from that or anything like that. I think, obviously one day, I'm kind of playing at the moment at Norwich, and I'm extremely enjoying it, and that's kind of my focus at the moment. But obviously, like you said, one day, I think, that definitely could, any player would be telling you they'd be lying if they were to say that they weren't interested in that, and obviously that'd be amazing for any player. So no, it was crazy to have had that, and then obviously as soon as it was done, it was done. So
right, Max, we've nearly run out of time for you because we know you're busy. Because even though everyone else seems to be like working kind of towards Christmas and breaking up for Christmas, you guys are going to be quite busy. What's the schedule like over Christmas for you?
Yeah, so busy. I think obviously Bayo will be able to tell you the amount of games is unbelievable. But obviously we've had games up until this week, and luckily around Christmas for the first time, our next game is on Boxing Day. So that's kind of like a few days away. We finally got a week where we've got 2 games in a week instead of 3. So, but obviously it's massively busy, and you got game after game. But I think any player.
Are you man training on Christmas Day?
Yeah. So we're in on Christmas Day. We're in the evening, and then we're in the hotel. Then the night before, we got Watford on Boxing Day. So
home or away?
Away at Watford. Yeah.
Hey.
So are you lot in hotels every night? Sorry, before every game.
Yeah, before every game. It doesn't matter if it was 45 minutes away the game, we'd still be in a hotel.
Hey, can I ask a Watford-based question really quickly while I think about it? So Watford have just fired their manager again. So is this a good time or a bad time to play Watford?
For me personally, I think it's a good time, just because I think they might be a bit unsettled and stuff like that, and they haven't got the new manager in yet. So I think obviously they've still got massive quality. They've still got Troy Deeney and all those type of guys, and obviously it still looks like a Premier League squad. So it's going to be a really tough game, a top game. But yeah, I think it's a good time to play them, to be honest.
All right. So you know the Christmas period is mad. It's mad hectic. We already know. So all right, Christmas Day, like. So do you watch what you intake on Christmas Day? Like, would you be like because one thing the thing I hate the most is clock watching. And listen, I've got kids in it. So of course I'm up mad early. Them man are jumping on my head. No, daddy, Christmas, right? Go back to bed. You know them ones. So then you're clock watching and then you gotta be like, raw, my man's got a game. So what's like the Christmas Day like? What's Christmas like for Max prior to the game the day after?
That's tough. Like, I think for me, my whole family lived like about 2 hours outside of Norwich, live in Milton Keynes, which is 2 hours away from Norwich. So I'll be there in the morning. We're in at about 4. We're in at about 4 on Christmas Day, train at 4, and then travel to the hotel. So I think I'd be there, but I'd be at my mum's in the morning. But then I'll be clock watching, thinking, what time have I got to leave? What am I doing? But
people
like
don't
you said,
know
it's crazy. You know, you're just there, and then you're just waiting to go to training. You know, most people's heads are just on Christmas Day, and ours is obviously on. Kind of, you got a game the next day, so
people don't know that sacrifice, and I know it's gonna sound like this that, but I'm telling you, it's the day where you get to just normally chill with your family and that. But we both said it, we're clock watching, so you actually got one eye always thinking about I've got to get out the door, and especially when you've got to go training. So so 2 questions. So are you Christmas ready? Have you got your Christmas presents?
I haven't finished all of them yet. And then we've just gone into like a tier 4 lockdown, whatever. So you can't even go and get anything. So
online shopping.
And just relying on orders to come before that. But I've left it late this year.
I say nothing. I am a size extra large, double XL, or so just bam. Don't forget, man. You get me. But this runs in nicely to my question I always like to ask. All right, cool. All right, so Max, yeah. The question I always ask is, when did you know? Okay, so you're a young pup. You're a Premiership footballer. You've ticked most of the boxes you want to tick, right? So when did you know you had money? When was that moment that Max was like, whoa, Bob, I've got money. And what was the first present you bought for yourself that you was like, cool, I'm gonna go treat myself? So when did you know?
Me, I think it was last season. And we halfway through the Premier League season, and I looked and I was like, you know what? I think my mum and dad had done a lot for me in my career and stuff like that. I said, and I need a new car, and then I just kind of went out and kind of got them new cars and myself. That was the point where I was like, you know, I can be able to do this, and that was the best feeling. So.
Man just said, yeah, I want a car. Mum, pops, you get a car as well. Wait, how old was you last year?
19 at the time, I think I was 19.
Oh my God. At 19, I'm parking tickets. My God.
LW! You see that? 19, he bought himself, mum and pops a car. Man, I salute that. I love it.
That was good. Good feeling.
So nice.
All right, blessings, man. You earned it, my brother. You earned it.
Was it like a surprise, or did you take them with you? How did you do it?
I think I said to with my mum, she knew. I think I can't remember why. I think I had to ask her about it, so she knew. But with my dad, it was a complete surprise, and I kind of went with him, and he was just shocked. He was just shocked, literally. His face. I wish I'd have got it on video as well.
Oh, I imagine that would have been so good. Did he kind of like? I mean, obviously, he gets into his car and he takes it. It's his and all that sort of stuff. Did it take a while for him to kind of be like, "This is my car"? Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than like it's yours or it's somebody else's.
Yeah. So it's his old one as well. He was like, "What am I gonna do with this one?" I was like, "It doesn't matter now. You've got you got this." So it was a good feeling. But I think he just took a while to process it, really.
Yeah.
To be honest.
He still got the old car just in case.
Yeah, I think he's left it. Yeah, I think he has got it actually. He has got it. It's just parked up. So
Man said 19 when he knew he had money. I love it.
You know what I like as well is that that's the first thing on your mind as you thought about what you bought your parents. Not that there's anything wrong with buying yourself a present, but that's like that. If I ever come into like a large sum of money, I always think the first thing I do is buy my mum a house. Like always.
No, it's not, LW.
Yeah,
Don't try and ride that train. You liar. If you came into money, you'd buy yourself something. Your mum would come afterwards. Don't try and jump on the Max train. Hey, listen, I've been working with her too long. She thinks she's slick. You're the good heart.
You know too well.
You're the good-hearted one. Trust me.
And if you had him, he was like, "This woman's a really nice. She's a really."
You know her too well.
Oh, blessings.
Right, listen, we've got to go because you've got a busy schedule. You've got to buy some presents. To be honest, you've done presents for a lifetime. You bought them a car each.
Yeah, you're good. Mums and pops is good.
True. I don't want to hear any moaning from them now.
Yeah,
I've done enough now.
You gotta get them socks this year. Get them socks. That's my go-to.
Socks.
That's Mumsy's go-to present to me is socks. And I always complain when I open it. And then halfway throughout the year, it's the best gift ever.
Needed. Yeah.
It's needed. It's so needed. So yeah, man. That's the go-to present.
Is that what I have to buy? Because I've got two brothers. Should I buy my brother's socks?
Let me tell you something. Socks. When you get it, you're like, oh my days. Oh, you lot don't love me. But then 6 months into the year, when you're scrounging around and you're like, oh yeah, socks. Because they're still in the packet. And fresh socks is the best feeling. So you're like, I love my sister. I love my mum. Trust me, that's the go-to present.
Right, done. I'm going to get on the online delivery immediately next day. Max, thank you. It was really good to talk to you. Thank you so much. Good luck with the
season. Max Broski. I have a blessed Christmas. All the best Boxing Day. So we'll catch up Adams Park. You get me?
Perfect. Yeah.
I
don't want to be stuck in the back post with you.
I'm telling you, I'm going to try and get to the back post. You watch. I'm trying. Listen, we'll do one little deal with it. I'll race you. And try and track back, and then we'll battle back post for each other. We'll do that.
Oh. Yeah. Only one winner in that. Oh.
Yeah, same, but it's just like it's a one winner in the race, isn't it? So we'll meme it out. Trust me.
Oh, cool.
Love him. I think he's absolutely wicked, Bayo. I think he's great.
Do you know what is happening now, man? We're getting guests that are young but so mature. Like they seem so balanced, you know, and it is a beautiful thing, and that's the good thing. It is a beautiful thing. He's a top professional, really good talent. I've got a lot of time for him. I'm going to dunk on him though. Just best believe though. When he comes to Adams Park, I'm going to dunk on him.
Okay, it's time now to look at the Super 6 fixtures for round 23. Download the Super 6 app, create an account and play for free by predicting the scores of 6 chosen matches to be in with a chance to win £1 million this week. £1 million.
£1 million.
Okay, so it is back, the £1 million round. Jeff will hopefully be giving away the £1 million jackpot to one lucky player who scores 30 points on Boxing Day. Good luck with that, guys. Could the £1 million jackpot winner come from our Super 6 league? You can join by using the code Super6. There is a £1,000 prize at the end of the season for the winner of that specific league. And also another reminder that you can invite your mates to join Super 6. And if any of those invited friends go on to win the jackpot themselves, then you, for inviting them, will win £25,000 when you win.
All right, so got to think about it. That's £1 million. LW, that's £1 million, yeah? So if you're like me, normally you've kind of spent the money before you've got it, yeah? So I'm going to ask you, if you won the £1 million for Christmas, right? What would you spend it on? So I'm going to throw something. At you. Real thing. What would you spend it on? New car, new house.
Oh, I go for a house first because I'd buy a house for my parents.
Oh, you liar! Jeez, I see what you did there. Boom, I got you. All right, so you buy a house for your parents. You lie. All right, cool.
No, house would go before. I'm definitely a house person rather than car for me. Yeah. What would you do?
I would buy. I'm a house person as well, just because the kids now. I think back in the day, B would have maybe got him a nice little selfish car, but you know, it would have to be house now. All right, so I'll throw for you. What would you get? What would be the most outlandish present? So I don't want conventional. I want outlandish present for Lulu.
Oh, for Lulu. Oh, this girl's going to get her own 3-story house.
Swear down.
This dog, actually, I cancel that because she has to be next to me all the time. That's her choice, not mine, obviously. Like, this dog is the most. She's so cool. Like, she's not even in the slightest. She doesn't listen to me. She's not interested. Like, she knows what her name is. She knows the commands. She's trained, but she doesn't care. So, like, if I tell her, like, Lulu, like, come on, get your face out of that, whatever that is, she looks at me and she's like, no. And then she'll carry on doing it. So really, I'd probably get an electric collar for her so I can zap her.
Oh, you cruelty. It's cruel. You cruelly. You say you love the girl. So, and the worst thing is, one thing I know about LW, she likes control, right? Yeah. So that's what it is. So she'll be like, Lulu, come here. Lulu will give her the girl look, like, you know, that one's like, I'm busy. Then she'll be like, yeah. Yeah, like I'm not. I see it.
You know, I swear you can get these other ones, right? These collars, and they squirt water. So, like, if you don't want to give the electric shock, which I don't, by the way, just to let everyone know, I would never do that. I love her more than anything. I know. The little water one, right? You press the button and it shoots a bit of water under their chin. So they're like, whoa. So it trains them to not do, like, for example, if you're like, Lulu, which I do in the park, it's embarrassing. Lulu, and she's totally ignoring me. I'll just spray with a bit of water and she has to come.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know about that. All right, quick, a couple more fast questions. Here we go, yeah? So, diamond watch, diamond chain.
Chain.
Shoes or bag?
Shoes.
Shoes, yeah?
I think so. I don't really know. I'm not massive.
Okay. Last one. I'm going to throw this out there. Last one out here. Yeah, I'm going to throw this out there. Chef, 24 hours a day in whatever outfit you want the person to wear, or 24 on point Deliveroo.
Chef.
Yeah.
Listen, my head says chef, so I can be healthy. My heart says Deliveroo because, oh my God, obsessed. When I was hungover, I got 3 Deliveroos in one day. 2 days. Yeah. I had a 2-day hangover and I was just like, and then as soon as that one arrived, I've ordered another one. And then like,
LW, listen, LW don't do things by half. Jeez.
You know the worst thing that ever happened to me with Deliveroo? The guy came down the stairs. I opened the door and he said, hi, Laura. And I was like, and he knew my name because he remembered from all of the deliveries. And he was like, I've seen you before. And it got to that point where my delivery drivers knew me. And I thought, I've got to switch it up. So
you've got to switch it up.
I went to Uber Eats for a while.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie, that was like me and Nando's. They just knew at a time. It was like, yeah, what's going on, beast? I was like, yeah, say nothing, bro. Same order.
Phone, like before you'd even called it. Like,
yeah. Order's coming. Yeah, we know. We'll send it. So we got to switch it up sometimes. All
right, I've got a question for you. Would you still, with your million, do you remember when we did this? Would you still buy a chicken shop, or now that you're a championship footballer and you're like maybe a little bit more upmarket, would you buy something else?
What? Who said anything about upmarket? But I'm still in the hood. I'm getting me a chicken shop all day, every day. What? 100%. Yeah? The chicken shop don't change. I'll always say football, it's temporary. I'll have to retire sometime. But my love for chicken is lifelongless. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. Permanent. That's what it is. Yeah, permanent.
Enduring. Yeah.
Yes. Eternal.
Eternal. There we go.
Yes.
Okay, that is it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for our guest as well, Max. Absolutely brilliant. Bayo, thank you for turning up eventually. It's nice to have you come.
I stopped doing that. LW, I was here. There was technical difficulties that I just couldn't get online. Okay, you hear me?
Yeah, got it. Remember as well, if you want to get involved on Twitter, follow us at Super6. Use the hashtag Super6Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Make sure you can get the downloads automatically downloaded into your little section in your app each week. We'll see you again next time. Bayo, Merry Christmas.
Hi, LW. Merry Christmas. Blessings.